City Hall update. Good morning, Mayor.
Lucky you, Joe, huh? Good morning, Joe.
Yes, I am very lucky. By the way, I am so lucky that I'm going to be on vacation next week. Just to give you a heads up, yes.
Good for you. Hope you're going somewhere warm.
Well.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
If you consider my living room, I guess that counts.
There you go. Turn the heat up. Pretend you're in Florida.
Exactly. Today actually is the first day of winter on the calendar, at least. This, like I said earlier, this is my kind of winter.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, a little nippy yesterday and today, but that's the season we're in, so I'll take this.
Exactly. Is the city ready for a winter?
We're always ready, absolutely. I mean, as I always say, we plan for the worst and hope for the best. And I'll never forget the winter of 15, because toward the end of the January, I was practically doing a dance up here saying, all the money we're going to save in a snow account, and then boom. And in January, never stopped in February. We spent the most historically in the history of our city on snow removal. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yes. Did you ever think the only thing we'd be farming in Quincy is snow?
Exactly. Incredible.
Snow farms. Gosh, yeah. I never want to shovel my roof again.
Yeah, right. Crazy time.
Speaking of money, Mayor, I understand that the city is in for saving a whole ton of money with the bonding of the pension obligations.
Yes, I know. We've talked about this, I know, a number of times, Joe, over the last several months. Something we started almost a year ago. And, it's finally been finished. So we went through the process. We did all the due diligence, put a hell of a team together, a financial team. Council voted to support it. Not all of them, but most of them. And so last week we had the bond sales, and we got a rate of 2.63%, which is phenomenal. And that's the whole point of this. The only reason to do this was because of the historic low interest rates. And so people may understand. I know that there's a lot of people that, directly don't appreciate public employees and probably think they're overpaid, and et cetera, and I deal with those questions frequently. But public employees pay 11% off their check into the pension system. And the pension system has not been as robust in returns over the last couple of decades. So each year, whatever the difference is between investments and the delta of what's owed, we make up the difference as a city. So under state law, by 2040, the system is supposed to be fully funded. And right now, as of before we did this pension obligation bonds, we were lacking $470 million in funding. And if you do the numbers going out to 2040, each and every year, the bill coming from the retirement board was going up dramatically. I mean, by millions every year. So we took a hard look at this and said, how can we get this, stabilized going forward, and giving us kind of a steady stream of payment rather than these peaks that we're going to be dealing with. And by going this route, in the course of the 19 years it goes out, the city will save about $168 million in what have been the regular payments of the retirement system. So it's the first 2 years are lower on the payments. The third year the payment goes up and then it stays the same in the debt service going forward for the next 18 years. So it was just a unique opportunity. We took advantage of it, and it's going to help the long-term health of the city.
So that's about $20 million more than you had estimated, actually.
That's right. When the numbers came in and with the rate we got. So it's a very, very good move for the city. So I appreciate Eric Mason, Chris Walker, my entire staff, municipal finance team, Rick Kosher, and so many others. We had the best in outside consultants working this, and so it's a good move. I know a lot of people probably don't understand it and probably don't care about it, but future mayors, I think, will look back and say that was a hell of a move, because they would have been looking at some serious increases to meet that funding schedule.
So that's a fixed rate, I'm assuming?
That's correct, yep.
And what does that allow the city to do going forward?
Well, for example, Joe, every year when I begin to do the budget process, and usually in February, maybe March, to get ready for presentation to City Council, there's two things I look at first. What are the projected increase in healthcare costs? What are the projected increases in retirement? And then from there, I said, okay, now what do we have to work with on the operational side? Okay. And those numbers were all over the place, and they only go up. I mean, they don't go down. Yeah. So now this allows us to do much better budget modeling and preparing it gives us, the number going out 18, 19 years, so we don't have to scratch our heads and wonder how we're going to make up $10 or $12 million because the building retirement system was up dramatically. So it's a great. It was a great opportunity to kind of give us predictability going forward and continuity, really.
How is the bond actually financed? Who buys that debt?
Well, it goes on the market, and there are several different buyers that buy the debt.
I see.
So we work through a handler, a small bank that actually is our representative that moves them that day. So it's a unique process. It's complicated, but I'm starting to understand it after all these months working on it.
Yeah, I understand it was about a 6-hour negotiating session of the actual sale of the bond.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
so it's fascinating.
It really is. And other communities following suit, have you heard? Or?
Yes, well, historically, Worcester did it years ago, Brockton did it years ago, and then Brockton did it again. Andover is doing it as we speak. But I think we're the largest dollar amount, $475. I understand Springfield, their delta, their unfunded liability is about $900 million, and they're looking at doing something as well. So it's a popular tool right now.
I know you've given credit in the past to current State Senator John Keenan for allowing this to happen quickly.
Yeah, well, he was the city councilor at the time, and John was always into the finances, even though he was a lawyer by trade. And he pushed this through in a home rule petition. Our legislature voted for it at the time, just to have it ready in case someday we needed it.
Sure.
Now, my guess is if we had to push the legislation through, it wouldn't have been a problem for us to do so with Speaker Mariano and the governor. But nonetheless, we saved some time in the process because he was thinking long term at the time.
Sure. Well, that's a nice Christmas gift.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Mayor, can we talk a little bit about the current state of the pandemic and the fact that the city of Boston is now instituting a vaccination requirement? Any plans to do that in Quincy?
No, we've had some meetings with the Metro mayors and Metro Area Planning Council, which serves as kind of a conduit with the core mayors and city managers around the Boston region. And look, we've been through this for a while. I think we've learned a lot. Obviously, we've lost people. I know a number of people that died from the COVID. Yeah. We also recognize that we understand now who's susceptible, that people are getting sick, but people aren't dying like they were. And so I think this variant, we got to be careful. But I'm a big believer. Look, there's been a lot of information out there. We pushed the vaccinations. We've done incredible work, in my opinion, here in Quincy on how we've handled it with the schools, with the business community. And, sometimes I think that those that are in power in government think they have all the answers and have to mandate things. And, I believe that people can make choices. People that are susceptible, they know, and they've got to be extra careful. The vast majority of the population has been vaccinated and now getting the boosters. So I think that the government didn't create this government we have. It was the people that created the government, and I think people are smart enough and can make decisions for themselves. In addition, I don't want to put any additional burden on our business community. They have suffered tremendously over the last 2 years, particularly in the retail world, and I don't want to add to that burden.
How was the distribution of those free rapid at-home tests handled?
Going very well.
Okay.
Commissioner Molly Casley has done an incredible job. Not only with that, but he continues to set up clinics for booster shots and vaccinations, not only with Manat, but he had Brigham Women Dana in with their bus a couple of weekends ago. I think he's scheduled a couple of more coming up. So he's doing everything in his power to get people vaccinated and get the message out on how to be smart about this. So we appreciate not only him, but his entire staff. They've been incredible during this whole last couple of years. It hasn't been easy on them in particular, really, and they've been in the trenches the whole time. So we'll continue to push those. They're available. People interested, they can call the health department or visit the health department at the Kennedy Center, and I'm sure they'll accommodate your requests. Again, this is a kit that we take home.
Yep.
We're not doing the actual testing. So
that's right. Yep.
All the instructions go with the kit.
The federal government announced today that there may be more distributed nationwide, so we'll have to see how that pans out.
Yep. We'll keep moving them.
Do you anticipate the mask mandate in the schools to continue?
That's not my call. That's the state's call.
Okay.
It's interesting. I saw something on the news last night where there was a major study in Michigan, and the study is basically saying the masks don't matter in schools. I want to look further into that. But this is a call done by the State Board of Education, not the local district.
Okay.
So I think we're in for a rough January, February, just as we are every year with the flu.
Yeah.
This acts like the flu. So I think we've, hopefully by the springtime, Joe, and I think we've said it the last 2 years, that we'll be in a much better place. And I think we did have some good stretches, but, we're back in the midst of it, so we got to be very careful.
Sure. Speaking of hope, Mayor, this is the time of hope, the season of hope, and I wondered if you wanted to maybe deliver a Christmas message before the holidays.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I am grateful, one, to serve as the mayor of this great city. I've also been a big Christmas guy my whole life. Loved it as a kid. Loved the lights. Loved the season. Loved getting together with people. And it is the season of hope. It is the season of peace. And in these times, I think that hope is needed even more. I think winter can be tough to start with, but in the middle of a pandemic, it gets very difficult for people that are in that category, being an older person, susceptible to health. So, I particularly wish them a Merry Christmas and best wishes for good health in the new year. And we have a great city. I'm grateful for all the work our employees do and managers and department heads. I appreciate my colleagues in elective office and all the good work that they do as well. So, from my home to yours, Merry Christmas and best wishes for a healthy new year.
Thank you, Mayor. The same to you and yours from all of us here at QATV. We appreciate your participation throughout the year as always.
My pleasure. I appreciate you getting the word out for us, Joe.
Happy to
Not
do
easy.
That's what we do. So we thank you for helping us do that. And we will talk to you in 2022.
Sounds good.
Okay.
See you next year.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.